What's good, gang? How y'all feeling out there, man? Thank all of y'all for joining into your boy being there, Charlie. I'm already rich, man. We about to find out today is Uncle Murda, Lenny Grant, a rat, a snitch, you know what I'm saying? Or is he a stand-up Brooklyn cat, man? We got his paperwork right here, dog, and we gonna read it out and we gonna make sure this guy ain't no faking the funk type of guy. You dig what I'm saying? But don't forget to go to the description box right now, support the wife, man. She got the book out and we also got the clothing line out, man. And remember, hashtag being there, try to put in your donation to help the channel out, man. We love the support, man. We also on the Patreon, you know what I mean? Come show us some love, show us some support. You dig what I'm saying? Hit that like, hit the subscribe button for me, man. And remember, man, being there, Charlie, man, we moving out here, man. We grinding, we hustling, man. And with all the people that's supporting the channel, man, we just thank y'all, man. I just wanted to let y'all know, man. My little son and my wife put this book together right here. I mean, y'all can pick it up at Amazon. We got it in the description. And this is the other book that she put together, y'all. Y'all come on and support the family. And remember, y'all, this journey called life is me and my wife, man. We just talk about tough topics, you know what I mean? And we discuss all the things that we deal with being married and stuff like that. You dig? Love y'all, man. Peace, God.
Calls Leonard Grant. Leonard Grant, having been duly sworn, was examined and testified as follows. Please have a seat. Please state and spell your full name for the record. My name is Leonard Grant, Leonard Grant. You may inquire. Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Mr. Grant. Good morning. Do me a favor, try to keep your voice up, or maybe if you can direct the microphone a little closer. That better? That's better, thank you. Mr. Grant, are you known by any other names? Yes, they call me Uncle Murda. How did you get that name? From giving little kids money in the neighborhood and, from murdering the track and, from somewhat trying to give an image as a bad guy as well, but for murdering the beat too. Like when you're a rapper, they say when you kill a track, you kill a beat. I murdered that beat. So I was known for performing good on records and tracks, so it was like murder, stuff like that. They had some connection to your music? It had connection to the music. What is your profession? I rap. How long have you been rapping professionally? Professionally, probably since 2002 is when I got my first record deal. So I've been rapping for the last, professionally, at least 12 years now. Can you describe what kinds of venues that you had performed at? Madison Square Garden, the Best Buy Theater, things of that nature, just a little bit of everywhere. Have you performed or recorded or collaborated with any well-known musicians? Yes, I did records with Jay-Z, Mariah Carey, people like that, 50 Cent, a bunch of people. Have you also sometimes worked on movies or television projects? Yes. Yes, I'm actually working on something like that now with Netflix and AMC. We're currently trying to put a movie together as well as with the music, so we kind of give it to the public at the same time. The music would be a soundtrack to the movie that we are working on. Music been in movies before as well, like Brooklyn's Finest with Wesley Snipes, music on there as well. Okay, are you able to support yourself and your family through your rap career? Yes. Is it fair to say you achieved a fair degree of success as a rapper? Yes. Do you consider the rap industry a competitive industry? Yes, very, very, very competitive. Is it easy for someone to be successful as a rapper? No, not at all. Do you know Ronald Heron? Yes. Did there come a time when you heard his music? Yes. To the best of your memory, when did that happen? Like around probably early 2009 or late 2008, sometime around there. After you heard his music, I took a liking to his music. I really liked it. His energy, at the time I had first heard his music, I was working with a couple of other groups that I had that did music, and I was really trying to focus on getting, their career started. Then I got introduced to Ronald. I heard his music and became a fan of his music. We did a few records together and started working together during the music. Let me break that down a little bit. You said that you first heard his music maybe late 2008, early 2009, is that right? Yes. Did you meet him around that same time period? Yes. Did you eventually start spending time together? Yes. How would you describe your relationship with him in 2009 and going forward? We had we had a good bond because his passion for music reminded me of me when I was like first starting out trying to do the music. I see he had the passion and drive for it. He really wanted to do it. Was this purely a social relationship or also a working relationship? It was a working relationship at that point. What kind of work did you do together? Music. Did you make recordings together? Yes. Where would you do that? We would do that at the studio in Manhattan, Dan the Man's studio. Where is that located? In Manhattan on 30th Street. How often would the two of you get together at the studio? At least every other day. It was whether I have a session, he come to my session and listen to me record. Then we start working together, or he might have a session. I go check out him recording, then we work together, or we have a session set up together where we both was working at the same time, creatively working. The period of time we are talking about when you got together at least every other day, that's from sometime in 2009 until how long? Tell me. Up until he got arrested. It was well over a year? Yes. What were the basic activities that you did at the studio? We go into the studio, we put a beat on that we was trying to fight through, we sit in there, we write the lyrics, then we record it. That's a long process, so I say we probably start anywhere from 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and then probably be finished up most nights, probably 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Was it just the two of you at the studio, or would there be other people who would help the process? You got Dan the Man, the engineer, that's who records. He puts the music together, the engineer. So mainly be me, Ronald, and the engineer. You use pre-recorded tracks rather than live musicians, is that right? Yes. Would there sometimes be other rappers that would come by? Artists? Yes. Yes, we also had started working with Waka Flocka too. He was part of the group that we was putting together as well. I think that you said this would go typically, I believe you said from maybe 10 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock a.m.? Yes, to 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. Some nights we might leave a little early to go to the club to try to promote the music that we was making, so. After one of those sessions, when you were stopping at 4 o'clock, how did you feel physically? Tired, you kind of drained. Was it easy to recover from those sessions? You get your sleep. Did you work a second job during that period of time? No. Why not? Too much time required with the music, from recording all night, then getting some sleep. By the time you wake up, you're right back really at it with the music. You making your phone calls, trying to figure things out, your next move, or you writing music until you get back to the studio to record. Did you also sometimes make videos together? Yes. How much time would that be when the video process is involved? Sometime we shoot a video in a day, or sometime it take a couple of days to shoot a music video. Is it fair to say that over the course of this 1-2 year period, you got to know Mr. Heron pretty well? Yes. For a person who wants to pursue a rap career, promote a rap career, are there certain things you need to spend money on? Yes. Can you describe what those are? I mean, first of all, you got to spend money on the studio time. I will stop you right there if I may. How much does a studio cost? I mean, it could be anywhere from $50 to $75 an hour. Okay, please go on. First of all, you need money to record the music. Then, you need money to shoot the videos as well. Then you also need money to promote your records that you're trying to put out in service to the world. What kind of money do you need to spend to promote the records? You need a lot of money. That's why us artists, you get signed to a record label because they really take care of that. As far as promoting, the records, as far as the club, making the DJs play your recording, things of that nature. Is there money spent at clubs? Yes. Can you describe what that is? You spend money in the clubs on buying bottles and things of that nature. You buy bottles, so it would be a good look, so people can talk about you. It's a necessary thing as a rapper. You need to be in the club with a bunch of bottles. It's a good look, so people could buy into what you're trying to sell. On a given night when you're at the club buying bottles, how much money would you spend? If you buy bottles, you're looking at $400 or $500 a bottle. So if you're going in there, you promoting the project and you're trying to get a good look, any given night you could spend up to $5,000 in a club. Now, when you and Mr. Heron were working together at the studios making recordings, who usually was paying that expense? I pay the studio time, or even like a situation with Ronald, because he wasn't really like financially stable like that. Even my guy, Dan the man, the engineer, wouldn't charge him like a $50 rate or things of that nature. It might be $20. He might for an hour because he didn't have it like that. And he liked working with him also because Dan the man the engineer is the type of engineer that to work with you, he really got to like your music too. So he really liked Ronald's music as well. So he wouldn't charge him the full $50 an hour or $70 an hour, things of that. He didn't have like that. Sometimes I know I helped, Ronald pay for the studio time. He probably even borrowed money from his girl too to get things straight. Did Mr. Heron spend money buying bottles at clubs? No. Why is that? Because he didn't have it like that. Are you aware whether Mr. Heron was trying to get other people to invest in his career? Yes. Can you think of anyone? I know a basketball player, Al Harrington. I know he talked a few times about him, trying to get him to invest in helping Ronald's music career. In this 2009 and later period, would you say that Mr. Heron was making a name for himself? Yes. Did he have followers? Yes, he was starting to get more followers, and he kept getting consistent with the music. When he came to a club, would there be a certain reaction to him? Yes, people would recognize that he was the guy, that he was Rod Diggs from doing the music. Do you know what the term male groupie means? Yes, we call that like it be, people that don't really come around unless they hear you with somebody like famous or doing something. So that's what we call like somebody that just want to be around somebody famous, things of that nature. Did you observe whether Mr. Heron had any of these male groupies? Yes, it's fair to say we all might have a few, like male groupies that hang around. Do you know a person named or nicknamed Henny? Yes, I met him a few times. Can you describe who he is? He was kind of a guy like that. Like he wanted to just be around the hip hop scene. Like he wanted, like if it was a show or something, he might hear about that was coming out. Or maybe we was going to this club this night because maybe me and Waka Flocka might be there. He was the type of guy that tried to make sure he was there for that. Objection, Your Honor. Sustained. Would you describe him as a male groupie? Yes. Do you know if Henny was Mr. Heron's main source of transportation? I don't recall that. I know Ronald used to get his girlfriend car a lot, and I remember sometimes he wouldn't even make it because I guess his girl was out or he couldn't get the car, so a set might have got canceled or things of that nature. I do remember him sometimes driving with Henny, but it wasn't like everyday thing, nothing like that. During the time that you were together at the studio, did you ever see Mr. Heron possess a gun? No. Did you ever see any of his friends possess a gun while you were at the studio? No. No further questions. Cross-examination. Good morning, Mr. Grant. Good morning. My name is Renee Paul. I'm an assistant United States attorney here in Brooklyn. I should call you Mr. Grant? Yes. All right, I'll do that. Now, you talked about your relationship with Mr. Grant that you had with the defendant, Ronald Heron? Yes. And is it fair to say you were all friends, right? Yes. And from 2009 on, were you working together in music? Yes. And just let us get clear on the time. You said it was a year before he was arrested. Is that what you said? Objection. A year before. Sustained. You testified on direct, did you not, that you knew the defendant for about a year before he was arrested. Isn't that what you said? Yes. Yes, that's what you said, right? Okay. So are you aware that he was arrested on October 5th, 2010? Yes. About a year before that is in October of 2009, right? Yes. All right, so on June 16th of 2001, you didn't know the defendant, right? No. You hadn't met him yet? No. And you are from East New York, right? Yes. You are from the Pink Houses, right? Yes. Okay, but you never knew the defendant from back then? No. You don't know a guy named Frederick Brooks? No. You don't know a guy named Bishop? No. On May 9th of 2008, you didn't know the defendant, did you? No. No. And you don't know a person named Richard Russo? No. Never met him. In September of 2009, you didn't know the defendant? Ronald? Ronald. September 2009? I think so. If I'm not mistaken, I think so. Okay, I'm not exactly sure, but I think so. All right, so when you testified before that you met in October, it might have been September, it might have been October. Is that what you're saying? That we met in October or September? I couldn't tell you exactly the month that I met him. I don't know exactly the month. Okay, so let me ask you this. On September 27th, 2009, about 1 o'clock in the morning, were you in the Wyckoff housing projects? You said when? September 27th, 2009? I couldn't tell you. I don't recall it, or I don't know if I was or not. Have you been to the Wyckoff housing project? Wyckoff? I think I've been to Gowanus. I'm not sure if they're close together. I'm really not familiar with the area down there like that. Okay, are you familiar with the building named 185 Nevin Street? No. You've never been to that building? I don't think so. I don't recall, no. You don't recall being there on September 27, 2009? No. You don't know a guy named Victor Zapata? No. On January 17, 2006, is it fair to say that you were convicted of a crime, right? Yes. And that crime was a criminal sale of a controlled substance, is that right? Yes. And that was because in 2005 you sold drugs to an undercover officer, is that right? Yes. All right. At the time you were selling drugs, right? Yes. It wasn't like that was the first time you sold drugs? No, that was around the first time I sold drugs. That was the first time? Yes. You got caught in the first time, or one of the first times you were saying? Around that time period is when I tried to explore that kind of lifestyle, and it didn't really work out for me too much, so I referred back to my music. All right, that was crack cocaine? Yes. Where were you selling crack cocaine? I was in Manhattan. Where in Manhattan? I think that was like around Greenwich Village over there somewhere. How many times would you say you sold crack cocaine? Objection. You may answer. I'm not sure how many times. Like more than 10? Probably so. More than 20? I'd say more than 10 times. More than 10 and less than 20, you are saying? Yeah. Okay, you were selling to who? I mean, people that wanted to purchase. Okay, where did you get the crack cocaine? Objection. Sustained. All right, you were selling to people that wanted it. Was that people you knew? No. People you didn't know? No. It wasn't people you knew, and it wasn't people you didn't know? It was some people I knew seemed familiar, some people that just asked for something. Were you standing on the street when you did that? Yes. You got convicted of that crime, right? Yes. That's a felony? Objection. Overruled. That's a felony? Yes. And you were sentenced to 5 years of probation, right? Yes. You served that? Yes, I haven't been in trouble since. All right, in January, let's talk about January 22nd, 2008. Do you remember January 22nd of 2008? No, what happened? Do you remember a time on 2520 Linden Boulevard when you got shot in the head? Objection. You may answer. Yes, I got grazed in the head. Grazed in the head? Uh-huh. By a bullet? Yes. Okay, and that happened sort of in the evening hours on that day, right? Kind of, yes. Kind of late night when that happened. You were in a car with someone else, right? Yes. That person's name was Big Tone or Tony, something like that. That was my man Brown. Brown? Yes. Oh, Brown. That's a different person than Tony? I don't know no Big Tony. You don't know who Tony is? No. Well, you got shot in the head and you were in a car, right? Yes. What were you doing when you got shot in the head? Coming from the store. Okay, had you been anywhere else before the store? No. No. Did your grandmother live over there? Objection. Sustained. Well, I will ask another question. The bullet you said that grazed you, that went into your head, right? Uh-huh. It stayed. Some pieces of the bullet went into my head. Yes, it stayed in there, right? Yes. Is it still there today? I think so. I don't think it fell out yet. They didn't take it out, right? No. Not in the hospital? No, I seen the doctor. They asked me if they wanted me to do anything further. I told them no, I felt fine. You felt fine? Yes. Okay, you have rapped about that, right? Yes. How you got shot in the head and you didn't go to the doctor, right? Yes, but I did go to the doctor. You know, with music, sometimes you exaggerate things to sound like the best thing out there. So I said I didn't go to the doctor, but I actually did go to the doctor. Okay. They asked me did I want further medical attention, and I refused, but I did go to the doctor. They had me in the hospital more 10 hours, but I just decided to leave because I felt good. All right, so that was not true when you said that in your... No, that wasn't true, and the police investigated that crime, right? Yes. They were trying to find out who shot you? I actually told the police. I think the police... Objection. Sustained. That is sustained. Well, did the police come to speak to you about if you knew whether or not who the person was that shot you? Yes. They talked to you about that? Yes. You have told us here today that you were with a guy named Brown, right? Yes. Is it true? Is it not, though? When they spoke to you, you told them that you were with a guy named Tony. I told the police I actually thought that the police had shot me. I don't know about that's in there too, but if you could check, I told them I think that a police officer shot me. You told them that? Yes, and they told me to stop playing around like that. All right, so your testimony is that you didn't tell them that you were with Big Tone when it happened? I don't remember telling them that. You didn't tell them that you didn't know who shot you, right? I remember telling them I think they shot me. All right. They just told me to stop playing around. So the person that shot you wasn't related to anyone named Kevlar, right? No. Not that you know of? No. But is it fair to say that at around the same time you had an ongoing beef with a person named Kevlar? That's right, right? Objection. Sustained. Did you become aware that a person named Kevlar was murdered? Yes. His name was Lavelle Light, is that right? Did you know his name? I didn't know his real name, I just knew. Did you know him? I just know him by Kevlar. You know he was murdered? Yes. That was a couple of months after you got shot in the head, right? I couldn't tell you that. I have nothing further. Anything else? One moment, Your Honor. Sure. Briefly, Your Honor. Yes, go ahead. Mr. Grant, is it fair to say you don't remember the exact date that you met Mr. Heron? Yes. Could it have been early in 2009? Yes. And you know that whenever you first met him, I think you said that you continued to see him on a near daily basis until his arrest? Yes. So do you know when he was arrested? I know it was at a Waka Flocka album release party because it was actually like the first hip-hop album that Rot was actually on that was going to be put out by a major record label, and we was going over there to celebrate because we had made the album. So I remember it was that day because I remember when I came in, everybody saying, yo, you know your friend got locked up. And do you have a rough idea when that party was? I couldn't tell you exactly. Do you know if it was in the latter part of 2010 or the earlier part? Any idea? Not exactly. No further questions. Anything further? No, nothing further. All right, very well. The witness is excused. You may stand down, sir. Thank you. You're very welcome.